Hey, this is Wanker Reviews, and I will be doing a video on 8th Grade, directed by Bo Burnham. This movie got a lot of raving reviews from critics and the general audience, and I have to say that I thought the movie itself was very overhyped, and this is why I steer clear of reviews from critics when it comes to indie movies, because a movie that's that overhyped is usually a letdown. Despite it being a letdown and me not liking it as much as I wanted to like it, I did take away a few things. I really appreciate that they cast real middle schoolers to play middle schoolers, because usually in TV shows, and movies, they cast actors that are way too freaking old. They cast like 30-year-olds to play high schoolers, or 20-year-olds to play middle schoolers. It's freaking ridiculous. So looking at the kids in this movie, it literally took me back to middle school and how awful those years were. So the fact that it could bring that much emotion in me, I'll give it props for that. Because the kids in this movie literally look like kids I used to go to school with. So it was crazy. And I also appreciate that not only do the kids look like kids, but even the so-called popular kids, they look like realistic looking popular kids. Because if you watch shows like Mean Girls or She's All That, not only do the actors look way too old to play high schoolers, but they look like they're about to walk the red carpet. They look like they just got out of a dressing room. They look like they don't look like real people. They look like actors on a movie set. And every character in this movie looks like a real person. Even the so-called popular, better-looking kids look realistic within the setting. And what was very unique was that not just the popular kids, but the nerdy leading character. The leading character that we follow throughout the movie, she looks like a realistic, unpopular kid. She's out of shape. She has acne. She's not, like, if you look at her face, she's not like the prettiest kid out there. She's clearly still a kid and she's going through puberty, but she looks like a realistic looking nerd. And that's something that most movies and TV shows get wrong as well, because even if a character is supposed to be ugly and hated on and a loner, they look like fashion models most of the time. I mean, look at freaking Lindsay Lohan. She was supposed to be like the new kid that got picked on in Mean Girls at the beginning of the movie, but she's beautiful. I mean, look at She's All That. Again, the lead character has a freaking ponytail and glasses, and we're supposed to believe that this person would be an outcast in high school. It's so annoying. Like, if a character is supposed to be ugly, then hire an ugly actor to play this part. Like, ugly people deserve roles too. And I'm not saying that the lead actress in this movie is ugly, but she's really not pretty. Like, you can understand why she's very insecure. You can see why she's insecure. You can see why the so-called popular girls don't want anything to do with her. You can see why she has a hard time making friends, because she's not a beauty queen. And that's what I really liked about this. It was a realistic looking nerdy girl. And that's something that Welcome to the Dollhouse did a great job on, hiring an actual unattractive person to play an unattractive character. And also, another thing that I could relate with was not only was the personality of this girl, like how she treated her parents, how she treats her father. She's like lashes out at him, and I can relate to that because I used to lash out at my parents as well. But as soon as I go to school and I'm surrounded by people in my class, I all of a sudden like close up, and I all of a sudden like I'm very soft spoken, and yeah, I'm very insecure. I don't lash out at anyone. So that's something like the contrast between how you treat your parents and how you treat people at your school. That's something I relate to, and I appreciate that was something that I could relate to. And I'm glad that I was very happy with how it was portrayed, because that's exactly how I used to be. And also, she like when we see her, when we're introduced to her and we go through the day with her, we go through day-to-day activities. What I like is that the situations that she's in, like the pool party scene, it's not like an over-the-top embarrassing moment, how other movies are, where the nerdy character like trips and falls or spills something, or like has something really embarrassing happen to them where everyone starts laughing. Like, no, like I liked how it was very subtle, where everything wasn't too over the top. Like you could literally just see her just walking around, and you can feel her insecurity. You can feel how invisible she is. You can like just tell how insecure she is, and how much of a hard time she's having fitting in. Like I can relate to that as well, like being trapped in my own mind, feeling like I'm trapped in my own body and wanting to fit in but not knowing how to fit in, like being a complete outcast while everyone else seems normal and happy, and not being a part of that but wanting to be a part of that. I thought the pool party scene was very well done, and that's something that I really appreciate about the movie. Now, there was something that I didn't really relate to. In the movie, we don't see her getting bullied. Like, the worst thing that happens to her is that she's not a loner, but she has a hard time making friends. She doesn't have any friends at all in 8th grade. She's always alone. She doesn't even have like one best friend. She's like always alone, which is something I can relate to as well. But at the same time, she wasn't bullied at all, which was a little refreshing but shocking as well. Yeah, she wasn't bullied. There weren't like any over-the-top bully scenes at all, which made me like, just comparing her life and my life, I wish my middle school days were like hers. Like, at least she was left alone, whereas I was a loner. I had a hard time socializing, and I was bullied almost every day. I was physically assaulted, and none of this happened to this girl. So I'm like, what she was going through wasn't even that bad. Like, she was just awkward and insecure. Like, that was like the most she was dealing with. It's a little superficial. Also, this isn't a huge spoiler, but as time goes on, she does stick up for herself, but I kind of found her to be a hypocrite, because she's like saying, oh, you're too busy being cool to appreciate the smaller things in life. But at the same time, why was she so like adamant on, why was she so determined to make friends with the prettier people in school instead of people who looked like her? So I'm glad she stuck up for herself, but at the same time, she is a hypocrite, because there's a reason why she wanted good-looking friends, because she herself is shallow as well. And that's something that was very similar to Welcome to the Dollhouse. This movie isn't as brutal as Welcome to the Dollhouse. It's actually like a light-hearted version of that. So I'm not going to talk about the movie anymore. Another reason why I wanted to watch this movie was because of Tyler. Yeah, his name is Jake Tyler. And I heard that he was in this movie, and he actually goes to the same acting school as me, so that was very inspiring. He's actually a very good actor. He's very charismatic. He actually reminds me a lot of Barry Cogan. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. Barry Cogan. He was in Dunkirk. He was also in Killing of a Sacred Deer. They look and act very similar, so just for that, I think he has a lot of potential. And I can see him making it big in the future. So yeah, after saying all this, I give it like a 5 out of 10. I think I might watch it again, but overall, my first impression of it was a 5 out of 10. Thanks for watching.